Am I in the right direction now? Yes, I am. I can see my hand. Hey, everybody. Froggy is here and Tracy. Hello. Let's see. Let's give it a moment, see who else comes on. We'll see if Yvonne comes on. So Froggy, I know that you follow the weather. Did you see the what was going on here yesterday afternoon, later in the day? Let me just adjust this while I'm talking. So yesterday afternoon, Yvonne and myself, uh we went up the street. We didn't go very far to stop off at the store. And so it was starting to get kind of cloudy. We came out of Walmart, and it was the sky was getting darker. It was still warm outside, and um, so we got done. It wasn't raining yet. We had left. Let me move this out of the way. We had left there, went to Aldi's, so that wasn't too far. Still very close to home. And yeah, so the sky's still getting darker. We ran in, ran out. Uh, then basically, as we were coming back here, it started to rain like these really big drops of rain. And so we were just like praying, Lord, just hold off the rain until after we get inside. So whatever stuff we got, we were able to do it in one trip. And no sooner once we got into the breezeway right in front of my door, it was like the lights outside in the breezeway were kind of flickering, had gone off, came back on, and I'm like, okay, this is wonderful. So we probably won't have no power. Heard one of the fuses from the transformers. We heard one kind of blow because it gives off that loud bang. Well, we get in again, power's kind of coming on, going off, coming on, going off. And not 5 minutes after it, it all let loose. We had some extreme gusty winds. They were saying that it ranged between 60 to 90 miles per hour, lasted about 45 minutes, and then two more times heard, the big explosion sounds. And yeah, this didn't start until like I want to say just after 5 o'clock our time. So that would have been like three your time. Um, so yeah, so like I said, the power flickered a few times, but it stayed on. I can tell you the fuses that the explosion I heard were from back here where my apartment is. There's like this space between where I live and where there's another property on the other side. And so we have a line of the poles that go from the back all the way to the front. Well, I know it was two of the transformers that are between where I'm at and towards the front. Well, evidently for us here, we were very fortunate. Power stayed on. The apartment complex behind me, they the part of the property that's directly behind me, they still have lights, but the buildings like towards the front, they're still without power. Yvonne, where she lives, they had no power. When she texted me, I want to say it was about an hour or so ago, they still had no power. She said that she got the notification that they were restored. However, they still didn't have power. So her area had like 1,273 people without power. And now it's just kind of like showing about one to three that are still out. So hopefully her power is going to be restored soon. Some people in some of the areas, they're saying it could be Thursday before they're fully up and restored. So the one good thing is that yes, I mean it's still summer. It is still warm. Temps are going to be like in the 90s. However, those 100 and 110 degree heat waves that we've been having are supposed to be chilled out this coming week. We are supposed to be getting more rain between, was it tomorrow and Tuesday? So we'll see how that all works out. So, yeah, so we prayed about, let us get home before it all lets loose. And I didn't realize, now you would think I would know, because I'm all about this stuff, that I would have been aware that it was going to be, it could be really bad. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to get to what it was. So, yeah, so of course, you go without rain for such a long time, and now that we do, it's like, there you go. You're going to get quite a bit of weather. The lightning and the downpours and the wind and all that. So, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of get started. So we got Froggy here, we got Tracy here. Uh, we'll see if we have Terry, because I know Terry wasn't going to stay on very long because she goes to bed early because she's got to get up really early in the morning. So I'm gonna get started. Um, hold on. I need to let me refresh my laptop here because I'm still stuck on the video thumbnail and I'm not seeing anything. Get that going. And let's put on the live chat and I'm muted, so I think we're all good. Okay, so it's interesting that when I went and created this thumbnail um for this live, it just so happened it was like to the day last, it was last year in which I had done this. Was holiday mini online exclusives, and that's basically what we had. I do have, I want to say most of the sweets. I don't have all of them. I do have some bundles. I don't have everything. I'm going to just state that. During that, what is it, the double stamp and rewards promotion, I did place a small order. So there's a couple more bundles that I did get. Uh, I figure because there's a small amount, I can just show that stuff when I go to do a live. So actually, one of the suites that I'm going to show that's in the catalog is what I'm going to use this coming Friday. So the Sunflower Field Suite, that's the one that we're going to use. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to show you, I only got one item from it. This is from um, the Radiance Awaits. So this is going to be the latest stuff that's part of the Stampin' Hot foil line. So I can't really show what's in here, but like, flip the pages. But for this, this is going to start on September 1st. There are going to be 4 more colors of foil. So we got a red, green. We kind of got this holographic silver, and then there's copper. There's also a plate that's going to be a buffalo check. I did order it, don't have that yet. So like I said, the things that I did order, I'll show that. If I have it by Friday, I'll show it Friday. If not, then it'll be the following Friday. But what I did get from this, I did, because it's all about fall right now, I did get the copper foil. Haven't played with it yet, but there's the copper. So it looks like it's more of a matte rather than a really, really shiny foil like how the gold and silver are. Really looking forward to creating with that. And I have figured out, I have decided, and I put it on in my calendar, what I'm going to be using for the month of September. So the first Friday, we're going to use one of the new suites that I'm going to show you. And then we're going to jump into summer by using the rolling waves, and then we're going to go with the simply leaves, and then we're going to do fun for fall, which is stuff that came out in July. So I already got it figured out for September, so looking forward to doing all the fall stuff. The other thing that I did get from the new stuff that's coming out for the hot foil line is the lustrous leaves. So what's cool about this is that you have the foil die here with your 5 different leaves, and it's all one piece, and then there's also the die that will die cut them all out. And then all of these, you have like you have 3 of each of 5 different leaves that just cut that die cut a detailed leaf. I love that they gave us that many dies, so I can die cut a whole bunch at once. So hey Terry, so we just got started. I was just showing the first thing that I showed is what's from the new foil stuff, and there's the copper foil. So it's more matted rather than really shiny like the gold and the silver. And then the lustrous leaves hot foil dies. I mentioned there's the one foil die, and then there's one die to die cut them all out. And then you have 3 of 5 different leaves that die cut some detailed leaves. So this is definitely going to be something that I'm going to use. If I do it for a Friday, we're gonna see how we're gonna do that, because you saw what happened when I did the live when I introduced the whole hot foil thing. We were here for like 3 hours, so we don't want to be here for 3 hours, but we'll see what I'm gonna do. But definitely looking forward to doing something with this. I have the box right over here so I can put stuff in. All right, so I'm going, what's the next thing? Okay, so I have the catalog over here on the side, and hopefully when I'm opening it, you guys aren't seeing it, because I don't want to get in trouble. All right, oh, the other thing I forgot to show you, this goes with that bundle of the lustrous leaves. It has some decorative masks that go with it as well. So you can use these on their own, or you can, you can do some ink blending on those pieces before you foil it. So there's one that just kind of like has that solid background of the leaves, then some detail, a little more detail, and then there's the veins of the leaf. And then this standalone one has all these different leaves that you can add on the background of your card base. So we got that. I don't know why they put it in, they have the decorative masks that, we get with some of the other bundles. And it's in the small thing, but yet these end up in a large plastic bag. All right, so now I'm going to start off with bundles that are in in this catalog right here. And I'm going to, as a reminder, if you're here in the U.S., if you are not working with another demonstrator and you would like a copy of this catalog, I don't have my email. I'll put my email address in the description. Just simply send me an email and I'll be more than happy to mail one out to you. So everything that I'm showing you right now is coming from this catalog, and I'm going to start with the bundles. So one of the things that I do when I order a bundle, because now we got the packaging the same size between the stamp set and the set of dies, I basically take the dies out of their envelope and then I put them in with the stamps. So all those extra envelopes, I don't need to purchase any of them, but I'm definitely not going to be taking all that I have right now and then putting them in those envelopes. That's just insane. There's too many, ain't gonna happen. But this one is called Holly Jolly Branches. So the greetings, there's some different fonts. I do like this really tall, thin tree. Oh, there's Yvonne. Did it come back on yet, Yvonne? I was telling everybody kind of like our little bit of a story about, when we went out and got back just in time before it all let loose. Um, but yeah, your power, it should be, if they're saying that it was restored and it doesn't look like there's that many, because I think you're the one person, it should be soon. Pray that it's soon. So with this one, we got let's get into the holiday spirit, wishing you a festive season, sending joy always. You make all my days bright. From me to you, merry, merry everything. And this greeting is in a lot of these Christmas sets. Fa la la. And then the set of dies, I'll pull those out really quick. So you see the picture, they look pretty big, but you can see they're not too big. They're kind of small, but I do like these tall, thin trees. I just think there's something whimsical about them. And then you got like this really long label here that's got these little dots on either end of them. So again, this is the Holly Jolly Branches bundle. Okay. Next one, I thought this one was just absolutely adorable. This is called Christmas Crew. Um, what is it, Vaughn? They're still assessing the damage. My neighbors don't have power either. I'm worried though because they are saying it's been fixed. Um, Yeah, but you said that you had put in a call, so they're aware that they're still like it should be back soon. I mean, because remember, before they said that there was like 1,273 in your area that didn't have any power, so I'm gonna say that it's gonna come back on tonight. Because, yeah, I can see that, not being able to have a fan on or no AC, yeah, I mean, at least it's not 110 degrees, but it's still warm. Um, so, Christmas Crew, this bundle, I just thought it was absolutely adorable because you have your critters in this one, and each one of them is holding a sign. So you have your bear, your reindeer, and then the snowman. I just love snowmen. And then these greetings you can put into the signs. Will carol for Coco, fa la la, see, another fa la la, and ho ho ho. Happy, merry, sending holly jolly wishes here for the cheer, and then Christmas, and then you got a couple of other little, like a stamp with little tiny candy canes. You got a Santa hat. Um, then on the dies, what's really cute, now you can have some fun with this on with other stamp sets, but on the dies, you do have a cup, like for cocoa or coffee. Um, there is a die, that die cuts a beard and a mustache, so you can put it on your critters, or if you have, you could probably put it on, use it with other stamp sets of like, critters or characters or something like that. You got little candy canes, you got more of the detailed trees, and then of course there's the dies that are going to die cut the stamped images. Love the cup. Anything that would be like for coffee, oops, sorry, coffee, tea, hot cocoa, I'm all for those sets. So again, that's Christmas Crew. Uh, yeah, it's cooler outside than it is inside. I wish you were able to open your windows. Yeah. Okay, Tracy, let me ask you. The set that's for the gnomes, I didn't get those yet. But let me ask you, when you first saw that set, what did you, I mean, okay, the one image of the gnome holding something over its head. The first thing that I saw was a pizza. I guess it's supposed to be a big cookie, but the first thing I saw was that it looked like a pizza. And I forget who it was that I watched, but they said that they thought it was a pizza as well. But I thought it was funny. It's supposed to be a cookie, but yeah, see, you thought it was a pizza too. Okay. I'm not alone then, but yeah, it looked like a pizza. Um, so another bundle, standalone bundle that is in the catalog is Elegant Leaves. Again, fall's my favorite season, so of course any of those sets that are all about fall leaves and all that, I am going to be all over that. So this one has some nice script greetings in it. There's a hello, grateful for you, happy today, happy tomorrow, happy always. Thank you and sending caring thoughts. So you have kind of like your detailed leaves, and then you have these fillers that have like some detail in it as well. And then there are some dies with this one. So you have the dies that will die cut the stamped images. There's some detailed dies in here to layer over them. Another little standalone detailed die. And then you got this one piece here. It doesn't really cut anything out, but it is going to give you that wood texture. So it is going to cut those little slats out, those little lines out, but it's just not going to actually cut a piece out of your cardstock. So really cool when there's like some, wood trimmed, detailed images. Yeah, it's supposed to be a chocolate chip cookie, but I saw pizza. Who knows? You know what? I just may make it as a pizza when I get that set. Okay, so another bundle that I had gotten that, as a matter of fact, it's kind of like featured on the cover here. So this advent calendar that they did with the boxes, I definitely want to make this. And I'm really thinking about, now we're going to start getting into fall. So like September, October, November, and December. I want to do an in-person class, during those months, fall and winter, and Christmas are my times where I really, really do like to do, crafting for those seasons. So this is something that I would really like to do an in-person event for. So the bundle that's featured on this, of course, there's the designer series paper, which I'll show you. That's part of another suite. But for this bundle, there is, what is this? This is the Advent label punch. Let me show that. And then it's got the little punch if you want to punch a hole in it, or you can keep it solid. And then the stamp set is called Advent Labels. So you have some little greetings you can stamp inside of your tags. Happy, Merry Countdown to and from, Tidings, Christmas. You do have individual numbers from 0 to 9. You got your ho ho ho, you got a filler piece, you got a set of Christmas lights, and look, you got a little bulb there that you can stamp in any color. Cute little wreath. All this that will fit into those images. And there's another stamp set. I don't have that one yet. It is one that I did order that will coordinate with this punch as well. It has some different greetings in it that would be for some different holidays. So really looking forward to creating this Advent thing. Now the boxes, I don't have the boxes yet, but these boxes, they definitely do not look like they're tiny. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to making that. Okay. Another bundle that is in there. So this is the last bundle that I have that is, yeah, other than if it's part of a suite, is frosted pine cones. So for some reason, I don't know what it is, other than, those sets that we get, that, what am I looking for? Things that would be like, say, baked goods, baking and all that. For the holidays, I love those kinds of sets. And because it's that one time of the year where I would really do any of the baking as long as I have time to do it. But I also, for some reason, I like pine cones too. And so there's this really large pine cone that's featured in this stamp set. It does have these dots, kind of like a decorative element that you could put around your image. So when you look at this, think bigger. I'll pull out the stamp set and you'll see how large it is. You got some mixed fonts on the greetings. There's joy. May the beauty of the season fill your heart. Thinking of you, winter wishes, sending warmth and light your way. There is a set of dies. So you got two detailed pine cones here. You got some sprigs of pine, a label. But let me show you like the size of this, because this is pretty, like, look at the size of that image. That image, um, let me bring something in to kind of, maybe you could see it a little bit better, but that's pretty large, that image. You're definitely going to need, if you don't have a stamp positioner tool, you'll definitely need that largest block that Stampin' Up! Sells to put that on there, because that is pretty big. And then even the image with the little dots on it, that's pretty large too. Now, so with that, the dies too, you can see that's a really large die. And then even your detailed pine cones, those are a really nice size as well. And then of course you got your pine sprigs, and then of course there's the label. Also with this bundle, there is some decorative masks that go with it. Let me quickly put these back in there, and then I'll show you that. So again, the packaging, that's why I don't understand why those are in a plastic bag the way they are, and they're not packaged like this. So on these, you have one that kind of fills in your whole pine cone, and then a little more of a detail. Uh, yeah, this would be more detail, like your darker areas than you got for your pine. And then this is the one that I think that what I would like to do, I think this is like your tips of your pine cones. Use some embossing paste, like either the shimmery white or the white embossing paste, to kind of, make it look like there's snow on the tips of it. So I think I may need to get another package of the just the mask, so then that way, I have more than one set. If I do a live with this one, then you always got to take the time to clean them. So, and of course, when I go to do it, if I'm going to use the embossing paste on this, I'm going to need like a container of water to put it in right away, because if you get embossing paste dried on here, it's pretty hard to get it off. Okay, so we're going to start now, well, with the sweets then. And again, this is still from the catalog. So the first one, let me open it up here so I can tell you the name of it. So this particular sweet is actually one that I think this is the first one I'm going to use in the month of September. And it is called, hold on. Now it's like okay, I have it kind of like in order here. So on this one, it is called Mosaic Garden. So there's this really cool, and of course, none of this in this suite to me screams fall at all. Yeah, I just rhymed, didn't I? This is called the Mosaic Garden 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. The colors in here are crisp cantaloupe, crushed curry, hydrangea hue, old olive, and pretty peacock. So it's a pretty pattern. And then you got your crisp cantaloupe on the other side. And then there's pretty peacock. And the other side, you got your old olive and some dots. Crisp cantaloupe pattern. Hydrangea hue. Now this paper right here, I should have pulled out the silly old, I think is it silly old bear paper, the Winnie the Pooh paper. This looks very, very close to the paper that is in there, because when I made Yvonne's birthday card, I used the paper that looked like a sky and clouds that looks very, very close to this. So I should compare what those two look like. Well, good morning, Sue. Okay, we got this pattern right here. And for those of you that won a card last night, those cards went out in the mail. And I don't see Sharon on here, but yeah, yesterday before, before we had gone out, I did get Sharon's birthday card done, and that got mailed off today. So, yeah, so she should get it in time for her birthday. Okay, and then we got this pattern. When I saw this pattern, I told Yvonne the first thing for some reason that I thought I saw on this were lemons. Just by like those shapes, I saw lemons when I first saw it. But I like the colors that are on that. And then there's the back of it. So this isn't a specialty paper, so there's no foil on this one. Another pretty pattern. And then there's the back of that one. Okay. So let me figure out what am I doing with the paper here, because I don't want to end up all over the place. Okay, just gonna slide it in this box. Okay, and then there is the tile garden bundle. So you have your floral images that have some detail, kind of have that watercolor look to it. Again, there's a mixed font greetings in here, wishing you every good thing. My life is amazing because it includes you, and happiest birthday. And then on the dies, now these dies will kind of look a little familiar. So they are, where is it? There they are. First one that I grabbed. Spotlight on Nature. So yeah, I got all these aren't even on a card, but all the designs that are on the Spotlight of Nature on the border of them, these squares have that same exact pattern. So now we got circles and we have the squares. So very versatile, can be used for anything. Yeah, because for you, Sue, it's Monday morning, where it's Sunday evening here. Okay. Come on. You think I can get this back in here? Nope. Okay. Now also with this suite, there are embellishments. These are called the glossy garden dots. So it looks like old olive, hydrangea hue, and crisp cantaloupe. These look very similar to embellishments we had in the past, as far as kind of like almost like this, how do I want to describe it? Almost like a cat's eye type of pattern to them. But very nice. There's 2 different sizes on this. And then this is the hydrangea hue bordered ribbon. If it looks familiar, this ribbon is identical to the sweet sorbet ribbon that we had that came out that was part of that, was it the Be Mine Valentine suite that we had a few years ago? Same texture, the only difference is it's hydrangea hue with the white border. Okay, and again, this suite, I will be featuring that one on the first Friday in September. Okay, so the next suite, let me bring it up, is called Painted Patch. Again, it's all about fall on this, and really looking forward to playing with this. I love the mixture of like your oranges and your aquas when it comes to like the pumpkins. So so here, so again, none they're, I don't think they're even, honestly, I don't think they're going to be doing like 6x6 paper anymore, because you would think something like this would have been 6x6 paper, but it's not. It's 12x12, and this is not a specialty paper. The colors in here are Bubble Bath, Cajun Craze, Calypso, Coral, Crushed Curry, Flirty Flamingo, Golden Glow, Petal Pink, Pool Party, Secret Sea, and Timid Tiger. So here's our first pattern here with our leaves, our pumpkins, our gourds, and some acorns. And this image of this acorn here, you're going to see there is a stamp set that I'm going to show towards the end that is part of the online exclusives that are coming out in September, and it is a fall/Thanksgiving set. The acorns are kind of shaped in this way, so this paper would work really well with that stamp set as well. And then there's the back side. There is an embossing folder that has this same pattern on it. I'll show that in a moment. And then here's that same pattern, but it has the Secret Sea background, which I think looks really, really cool. I think, you know, using Secret Sea as your dark background rather than black, I think that's really, I like that. Secret Sea is one of my favorite colors that's in there. And then there's some checkers. Looks like Calypso Coral. And then this, I want to say that this is a shade of Cajun Craze maybe. But it's the same pattern as the other ones. It's got the white background, and then it's all monochromatic as far as the designs go. Love the stripes. Like again, like I said, the Calypso Coral, your Cajun Craze, and your aqua colors, I think are really, really cool together. And more pumpkins and gourds, and I believe that the dies that are in this bundle will also die cut some of these pumpkins and gourds out. So I really love the patterns and the color combinations that they have on this. And then there's some more aqua stripes. Love. And then we have our sheet of, now the sheet, these are pretty much the same. The only difference is that this is Cajun Craze and there's a little more detail on these leaves and acorns, whereas on this Golden Glow piece, it's just the outline of those leaves and acorns. Now I love that. Love that aqua checkered background. And then here's the last pattern, Cajun Craze. And then this sheet that has all the little pumpkins on it. Really cute. Okay. Slide this all in here. Yeah, I couldn't put all the stuff away until after I had shown it. So after I'm done here, guess what I'll be doing? Okay, painted pumpkins. So you have your stamp that this is one stamp right here with your pumpkins, I'm pretty sure, because there is a die that cuts it out. Yep. So actually these three are connected as one stamp, and then these three are connected as one stamp. You have your thank you, hello gorgeous, hey, and I hope your day is fabulous. Um, the set of dies, again, there's two of these dies that are going to cut out the three these three pumpkins. And then also, I'm pretty sure that this is also going to match up with the pumpkins that are in the designer series paper. You have some detailed leaves. You got your stems to your pumpkins and gourds, and then there's this gate in here. So when you die cut this, what it's going to do, it's going to kind of create like a score line right here. So I can't show the picture in the catalog, but there's a card that they made where on the front they die cut the pieces for the gate, and when you glue down this post right here, you can actually open up the flap of your gate, and then you can have like your pumpkins right behind it. So really cool. And of course, this is going to end up being one of my Fridays, most likely in October. So there are two Halloween. There's one bundle and there's one suite that already came out. I think it was in July. So that'll probably be planned probably earlier or mid October. But it's all going to be about pumpkins and stuff. Okay, so then also with this, there are also some painted pumpkin. It's part of the bundle. This is the painted pumpkins decorative mask, and a lot of decorative masks with this release. So you have your solid pumpkins, some a little bit of detail, more detail, then your stems, and then here's a standalone one with your vines with your leaves. So you can create your background on your card base. Again, with the decorative masks, if I'm going to do a video, I may get another set just to save some time when it comes to, cleaning them up before doing another card. Then here is the rustic check 3D embossing folder. Again, it's the same pattern as what's in that designer series paper. So really cool. Gotta love the checks. Then there are embellishments. These are the painted patch adhesive back dots. So on these we have Cajun Craze, Golden Glow, Calypso Coral, and Pool Party. So I think these colors, they just look really good together. And these, they have a little bit of lift. They're not too bad as far as adding bulk on your card. But yeah, we've had embellishments similar to this with other colors. So these are really cool looking. And there's Sharon. I was mentioning earlier, Sharon, that your birthday card was mailed out today. Okay, and then this is the ribbon. This is, what is this? Calypso Coral and Copper bordered ribbon. Very pretty. I first, when I wanted, well, I'm going to be doing the sunflower fields, and I thought this ribbon would be perfect to go with it. I mean, there is a ribbon that is part of that suite, but I think this color may be in with it too. So pretty ribbon. Okay, so that's that suite. Okay, the next one, speaking of which, that's our next one. Um, so there's two designer series papers that are part of this suite. Okay, let me get the rest of the stuff to it. Okay, so this again is, now this does have uh, like a coordinating scrapbook kit with it, and then there's also another stamp and die bundle that goes with that as well. So this is Sunflower Fields Sweet Collection. We have our Sunflower Fields Designer Series paper. There's Cajun Craze, Daffodil Delight, Early Espresso, Golden Glow, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Peach Pie, and Secret Sea. Of course, they never tell you on here that, about the white or the very vanilla that's in it. Kind of surprised they don't put that in there. But if you love sunflowers, this paper is just, it's wow. And then you got a checkered pattern with some Cajun Craze lines and some Golden Glow spots all over it. And then there's more than, so you got Golden Glow, this pattern, they have it in Golden Glow and Cajun Craze. So you got your sunflower background, and those are leaves. And some Cajun Craze. This is definitely going to be some fun paper to work with. At least you can get more than one package of this paper. Oh yeah, and I do have the paper that's the product of the month in there as well, so I'll show that too. So there's that pattern, and then you got your green. Kind of like this one. Golden Glow and Cajun Craze, I think, are just, they're perfect colors together. I really like it. Definitely for fall. But I like, they look kind of whimsical looking. And then there's the back. And then we got some more sunflowers. What is that? That looks more like what? Like a chrysanthemum? Did I say that right? And I think I may have this upside down. And then more stripes. And then here's that same pattern from the Golden Globe, but in Cajun Craze. Cajun Craze is one of those colors that's kind of hit and miss. Some people like it, some people don't. I will say I like Cajun Craze, and especially like for doing fall crafting. So what are your guys' take on Cajun Craze? Is it a color that you like using? Is it basically just something for fall time you like using it? I'm hoping that, I think it's going to be next year when they do a color refresh. I'm kind of hoping that Cajun Craze is not a color that they do away with, because even though it's going to end up, if it does and it's retired, I'm still going to use it. Like I decided that, I'm changing things up a little bit. Yes, most of the stuff I have is Stampin' Up, but then I've also got stuff that's, other brands too, like, as far as like, markers and things like that, that I would like to, bring in. I got a whole bunch of ribbon, that's really pretty ribbon, but it's not Stampin' Up ribbon. And I would love to even use that as well. So, all right, so this is also part of the suite. This is called Radiant Foil Specialty Designer Series paper. If you remember a few months ago, we had that paper, the specialty paper that was part of that Easter suite. It's basically the same. These are all single-sided. There's 3 different patterns. You're getting 2 of each. And it looks like you got your it's pecan pie, and you got your copper foiling in there. But it's got like this smooth texture to it. And so, again, it's single-sided, so you get 2 of each. And then those stripes that you saw in the designer series paper, same thing in the foil. And this is also thicker than the designer series paper as well. And then here's one with the sunflowers on it. I think coming up with projects for this coming Friday, I think it's not going to be difficult. It's not going to be hard, but it's definitely something that I gotta get on the ball and get it done, because this upcoming week, it's that time of it's one of those weeks that's going to be a crazy week. So yeah, hoping it's not going to be too bad. Okay, then there is the Radiant Sunflowers bundle. So you have your images, and these images, you know, some of these images are like the same size as what's on here. And well, nope, the image is actually, the image is a little bit bigger, but you have your grouping of your sunflowers and a couple of other flowers in there, a single one. Your individual sunflower, and again, mixed fonts on this, wishing you so much happiness, enjoy, thinking of you, and hello friend, and there's a little butterfly in there. And what's nice about that is that there is a die to actually die cut that, but you can see the grouping of the flowers. It's a nice, decent size, and even the sunflower, so it's not, you know, really small. And then on the dies, you have your dies to die cut your stamped images, and then you have some of your detailed dies to create your sunflowers, and you got a larger one here and some stems. And then I'm thinking that this die right here could be, I don't know, maybe it's one of those chrysanthemums. I don't know why words are hard for me lately, but and then there's even a vase, so you can die cut 2 vases, so you can put your flowers in that. And then there is this label die that's got it's not so much stitching, but it looks like it's got those little dots in it. So again, I think coming up with projects for this bundle is going to be fairly easy. I'm sure there's probably also a whole lot of samples out there with this as well. Then the embellishments, these are called the Radiant Gems. Again, we've had something very similar to this in the past. So I believe it's Golden Glow. This is Old Olive, and then I think Secret Sea. So there is a little bit of a lift on these. And like I said, they look frosted and shimmery, and we've had something very similar to this in the past. So those are pretty. And then I think one of the really, what I love about this last bit that's part of this, we got gingham ribbon, and this is Mossy Meadow and Very Vanilla. So I actually have gingham ribbon in these colors, but it's a much larger check. And it was ribbon that I bought at Hobby Lobby. So I really love this. I just think they need to come out with the gingham ribbon in all of the colors. And this is 1/4 of an inch wide. So that is our Sunflower Fields suite. Okay, then we have this one, which is like super duper cute. If you're all about the critters, let me bring this up. This one is called A Little Christmas Sweet. So this one has designer series paper. It's got you got your stamp and die bundle, embellishments, and then there's also some baker's twine that goes with this as well. Now what I like about this paper, it just kind of has this vintage feel to it. So again, this is called A Little Christmas Designer Series paper. It's not a specialty. It's got a lot of colors in it. Basic Beige, Cajun Craze, Cherry Cobbler, Early Espresso, Golden Glow, Lost Lagoon, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Pecan Pie, Petal Pink, Pool Party, Real Red, Smoky Slate, Soft Sea Foam, and Very Vanilla. So a lot of colors in this one. And I just think, okay, when it comes to like the stamps, the paper, mice are cute. Mice are cute. I just don't want them roaming around in my place. But so cute. They're decorating a Christmas tree, hanging stockings. Very cute. And then really nice plaid on the back. I'm this what was the green that was in here? I'm sorry, I hit my phone again. Um Mossy Meadow. Oh, okay. When I looked at that, I thought that could also be Peaceful Pine. But yeah, really nice plaid background. And then now you got the musical pattern here, the one holding a tree. You got your caroling mice. Here's your one in the center here, singing it loud and proud. And yeah, very cute. And you know, when you look at this, it just has, you know, this very vintage feel to it with the colors. And then you got your cherry cobbler and smoky slate. What looks like a knitted type pattern there. And then you have two sheets that would be your scene builder. So you can cut these. So you cut it straight across here, and then you can separate your pieces. But if you want to build kind of like a scene, you really cute. So you get two sheets of this, and then you can do like little tags if you want with those, and get two little tags right there. And if you were doing like a scrapbook, or you can do it on cards too, you got this long strip of the trees and your gifts. And then there's the back of that. Looks like Basic Beige and Mossy Meadow. And if you love bows, got a sheet of your red bows. Yes. And then here's that same, I was responding to what Froggy had said, that Mossy Meadow and Very Vanilla ribbon would be excellent on Christmas cards. Yes. Any like 1/4 inch gingham ribbon is good on anything. And actually, I do have a gingham ribbon that it's something I bought in Hobby Lobby that is definitely fallish in its colors. I want to say it's got like a rusty color to it and like a vanilla color. Yeah, like I said, I have all this stuff and I'm going to start using it and incorporating it in with the Stampin' Up stuff too, because you know I buy it because I really like it, I want to use it, but when most of my card making is for doing my video content, it's like I gotta use the stuff, you know. I guess that's the problem that I have. So this is the same pattern, except it's got the mossy meadow stripes in it. You know, I buy the stuff and then it's like I'm not using it, and that's not good. I gotta use this stuff. Then you got all these little mice in their stockings. I don't know if I want to see that they're sitting there and they're holding their stocking, or are they in the stocking with their feet hanging out. I guess it can go either way. Okay, and then this is something that, again, there's not going to be any dies to die cut this, but again, you can use these like in some of your scene building. So you got them climbing into the cookie jar, doing some baking, which that's really, really cute. But I do love this. I love like the cookies, your gingerbread man and your tree. Very cute. And then there's the back of that one with all the candy canes and the bows. Okay. Okay, that's the paper. Now, like I mentioned, I think our days of 6x6 paper is probably going to be done. Because I think we only have, well, we have that suite that scenic coast. That's 6x6, and then the the one in color paper. Yeah, but other than that, I think they're slowly phasing out a 6x6. Okay, so Christmas mice bundle. Really cute. You got your mice image. You got a Santa hat, a scarf. There's a little set of lights and a wreath, candy cane, an ornament. Again, mixed fonts on here. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas from all of us. Oh, what fun! Wishing you a. And let's see, sending little moments of joy and cheer. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and then of course there are some dies on this one. Again, like I said, the mice image, you can see that they are they I can't talk. They are a decent size, and even your wreath is pretty big right here, and even your greetings, they're not teeny tiny. That's a pretty big Santa hat too, and candy cane. And then of course there's the set of dies. And again, these do come separate. I just like to take my dies and put it in the same packaging with the stamp set. And then you got your dies to die cut your stamped images. You have a cardboard box, your gifts, a window, your bow for your packages, and then even some decorative elements. And then you have your ornament toppers and another tree. So really, really cool. I like that cardboard box. If you got a stamp that's got or the cutest crew, there's those detailed dies of the dogs and the cats. You can put them in. Well, you can put the cat in the box because the cats like boxes. I don't know if dogs feel the same way about boxes, but we know cats love to climb into a box and take ownership of it. So there is the Christmas mice. As far as the dies go, I don't know if these are gonna die cut any of the images that are in the paper. But the one thing to notice on the dies with the mice, that around where their paws are, there is a slit there that you can like take a candy cane, you can slide it, like where it looks like he's holding it, and then like this one here, he can be holding the ornament or a gift. So very cool little detail on those. Then I'm not going to undo this because I know it's going to unravel, but this is cherry cobbler, peaceful pine, and white multicolor Christmas baker's twine. So it is a little bit thicker. It's a 3/16 of an inch wide. But again, I think the cherry cobbler and peaceful pine is definitely going to be a good color for Christmas card making. But yeah, so it's a little bit thicker, and it is three. I would, like I said, I would pull it out, but it'll start unraveling, but really pretty. And then the embellishments, these are the Christmas epoxy shapes. I got a feeling these could end up going on back order sooner rather than later, because these are really, really pretty. I mean, you've got your little candy canes, your gifts, your ornaments, and some stars in there. Thank you so much, Froggy. That's so sweet of you. Oh, Terry's leaving us. I understand. I know she'll be back to watch the rest of it. Sleep well, my friend. Yes, Golden Glow and Cajun Craze. Oh, Froggy, I still have Harvest flowers on the flowers. From way back when, I still use it when I want to make sunflowers. Ooh, do I have that? I probably do. I probably do. Okay, so this next one, um, this one is actually what is kind of featured the um, on the cover. So this one is the Timeless Christmas Sweet Collection. Now, I also have, now, they say that this is part of the suite, but it's not really part of the suite. It's part of the scrapbooking workshop kit. So some of the suites, they have the coordinating scrapbooking kit. So the bundle they have with that works well with this is called Home for Christmas. Images on this are a little bit larger. Again, it's geared more for doing your scrapbooking, but of course you can use this on your cards as well. So again, some mixed fonts on here: festive fun, comfort and joy. There's fa la la again. You do have these little this one stamp where you can put a date in there. And then you got your bow, a tree, Home for Christmas, Merry Memories, December, and it's the most wonderful time. And of course, I love the gingerbread man, and then you got this big peppermint, and then there are the dies. So there's the stamp set, nice size gingerbread man, and again, that it's the most wonderful time is a pretty big greeting. And then the dies. So on the dies, you have the images to die cut those stamped images, but you got a tag. And then here you have what looks like a scallop top like pocket. So when you die cut this, you fold these edges in and you can adhere it to your card and it becomes a pocket. There's this really long one here if you want to do a scallop border. And then for your peppermint, there's a big die there. You have your holly leaves and your holly berries. And then again, there's just like a little little oval label and some stars. And then you got your reinforcers for your the hole that's in your tag there. So a nice size set of dies. And again, this, they say it's part of a suite, but it really isn't. It's kind of a standalone stamp set and set of dies or a bundle, but it's not part of the actual home, no, Timeless Christmas suite. So that's kind of extra. Paper. There's two different papers in here. This paper is the Timeless Metallic Specialty Paper. I believe there are 6 sheets in here. They're single-sided. Very, very pretty. It's a red, green, and gold. I don't think it's specific. Yeah, they don't have specific Stampin' Up! Colors on here. Timeless Metallic Specialty Designer Series paper. So look at this pretty and bright red. There is like some texture on there, but really pretty. And I can tell you, I'm looking at my laptop screen and it just does not do it justice. This is very pretty. This is like a real red, a nice, not a poppy parade red, I wouldn't say, but just very, very pretty. And then there is gold. So this is a nice light gold, and then you got a really nice pretty Christmas green as well. They're all the same type of texture and pattern that's on them. And again, single-sided, and you get two of each color in here. Put it that way. So got that. And then the designer series paper. It's called Timeless Christmas. It's not a specialty. So you have 2 sheets where you can cut out some labels and some tags on here. Colors in here, very simple. Peaceful Pine, Pecan Pie, and Poppy Parade. This is like the only paper, I think, do they have that's got Poppy Parade in it. Usually we had a lot of Christmas papers that had Poppy Parade in it. So again, you have 2 sheets that have a lot of tags in there, some labels. Again, you would strategically cut these. Now I said 2 sheets, I was wrong. There are actually 4 sheets each of these patterns. So you have 4 sheets of these, and then the back, ooh, look at that red with those white polka dots. And then you have your larger Peaceful Pine, and again, 4 sheets. Love that. And then you got your Pecan Pie with your snowflakes. So this, they either use the die or they use the circle punch to punch these out, and it becomes the topper for that Advent tree using the boxes. And when I look at these snowflakes, they're pretty big. So that kind of gives you an idea that by creating that piece is going to be pretty big. From what I see on the boxes, I don't have them yet. The boxes look pretty big too when they're assembled. So you have some holly there. And then the back you have kind of like this plaid. So really pretty paper. Okay. So that is the paper. All right, and then the bundle that is part of this suite, Scallop Christmas cheer bundle. So on the stamp set, the greetings and everything on it. It's a decent size. 'Tis the season's pretty big. Making spirits bright. You have a to and a from, so they're separate. If you were doing tags, you got your holly leaves and your berries, and then sending Christmas cheer and a gift for you. So great for if you're gonna make tags. I should do one of my Friday Night Lives doing like Christmas tags. Now the dies I think they're gonna steal the show. We have these large rectangular scalloped dies. So you got your scallops, and then you have again. I don't know if I want to say that it's like a stitched design, but it's like your little dots. So you got a border of those. So you got, was there 4 dies in there? So again, a lot of scallops with these sweets and bundles. Okay, come on, get in there. Then there is this, what is this? This is white. Let's get to the English. White textured ribbon. It's 3/8 of an inch wide. Um, it's not heavy or thick, so it will tie a really nice bow. And this is what they had used for tying that multi-loop bow on top of that Advent, don't want to call it a tree because that's what it kind of looks like with all those boxes stacked on it. But again, this is something that I really want to do an in-person class on. Okay, and then the embellishments. These are the adhesive back Christmas berries, and these are really pretty. These could end up being an embellishment that kind of goes on back order. So you got, they're separated, so you have, what is it? One, two, three. So you have 20 sets. You have the two leaves that these are connected together, and then you have the red berries. So they're connected. So these are not all together as one. So you can use just the leaves, you can use just the berries. You can even cut in between if you just want to use like you want to scatter the berries. But this is another thing that when I go to do that class, I'm hoping that these don't go on back order because we definitely need a package of these for decorating those boxes. Okay, so that is that suite. So that's it on the suites. Again, there's another suite that's in there. It's a mega suite where it's got two stamp, and oh no, that's not it on the suites. Nope, there's one more. But there is one in there that I didn't get. The paper looks amazing on it. So eventually, so stay tuned on that one. So the last one that I have, this one, do this without. So this one is called Neutral Noel. So you have some specialty paper on this. This is called Neutral Noel Specialty Designer Series paper. Let's see. I wish the catalogs had the list of all the colors in it so I wouldn't have to flip it over. So in here, you got basic beige, crumb cake, mossy meadow, pecan pie, and gold. And again, these papers are just like the foil papers that go with the sunflower fields. Again, the same like the way the Easter paper was. These are single-sided. They're a little bit heavier in weight, and there is some foiling on it. So here you have your little pine cones and some pine sprigs. And on this, how many sheets? You get 2 sheets of each pattern. So there's that one. And then you got some white and gold. Love the Christmas trees, or actually just pine trees. And again, so far what I've shown you, these are all smooth. Now these, this one here, there's 2 sheets here, right? This one has a texture to it. So it kind of feels like and looks like it was heat embossed with gold embossing powder. And you know, sometimes like when you heat emboss, it has like what looks like little like bubbles. It's not like really, really smooth. That's kind of like the texture that's on here. I don't know if this is going to even pick it up, but it's definitely got some texture to it. And then this one is smooth. And then this one too is just like that other one where it looks like the heat embossed gold, and it's got some texture on it. Hey, Carol. Okay, and again, these are all single-sided. Yeah, when I got this stuff, I kind of prepped everything, and then today after church, I kind of put everything to, put all my sweets together and bundles together, and that way it makes it easier to show stuff. So with this sweet, this is considered a mega sweet because it actually has two stamp and die bundles with it. So you have Knoll Tidings that has your greetings and a few images in it. Season's greetings from our home to yours, sending cheer, love, and joy, and Merry Christmas. You got your pine, you got another pine cone there. And this, uh, again, your pine, you got a nice size. Looking at this, you know what that this reminds me of? And I think, Froggy, this is when I think you first found me and started following me. Remember the one sheet wonder I did with that one set? This looks like we can do the same thing. And I think we just may do that on one of my Friday Night Lives. There'll be some extra cards, and we'll do like 4 cards with this set. I mean, as soon as I saw that, it's like, oh, yeah, you could do a one sheet wonder with that. And then the dies on this, there's 2 sheets. So you got, excuse me, you got this oval wreath of your evergreen. You got the die to die cut the stamped image and some berries. And then again, you get 3 dies for your pine cone. And then you got some label dies right here. And then you got this large oval right here. So pretty cool that they've given some extra dies for die cutting, that branch and the berries and all that. And then on the other set, it's just stamped images. There's no greetings to it. It's called Welcome Noel. So on this one, you have these larger houses, which I think is really cool. You got your larger tree, and then you got your row of houses. And there's a deer in there, so really, really cool. And then on the dies, you have the outline to die cut those stamped houses, or you can use the inserts here and have a more detailed house where it's going to cut out the windows and the door and all that, add some texture to the roof. And then you have these really long ones. I forget the name of it, but a few years ago we did have a bundle where it did have these type of dies in it, where it doesn't cut the whole thing. It just, you kind of line this up maybe like on the bottom of your cardstock, and it will just kind of cut those trees out. So, and then you have one with the houses, and then the stamp set actually has like that row of houses. So when you stamp that, of course I got it backwards, but you can see that you stamp those houses, and then you can end up die cutting that out. So really neat. You got 2 little wreaths, you got 2 stars in there. You got 2 deer dies, so you can stamp it twice, and you have 2 dies to die cut it out, and then you got your trees. Well, tree and probably the pine sprig. So really cool. There is a sample project that they had done that's in the catalog that I think is really, really cool. It can be a home decor piece, and they had taken like these thin wooden boards and kind of put them together, but then some of these pieces, like the houses and stuff, they had die cut it, and then they just kind of slid these into the spaces in between the boards that you kind of glued together, and I thought that was really, really neat. I would do that maybe on a live, but of course it's not something that I could end up mailing out because that could be a little costly. This is called the Softly Woven 3D embossing folder. And when I first looked at this catalog online, oh my gosh, I was so sold on this embossing folder. I think this is like amazing. You can see it's one of our larger ones. And just look at that pattern. It's like, wow. You got all these little dots and it's got your plaid pattern. So the texture of one of the card samples that's in the catalog, it's absolutely beautiful. So this is definitely one of those embossing folders. I hope that they're going to keep this around for a while because I really think that the texture, if you want a more subtle design, this is definitely one of those embossing folders. Then there is some gold adhesive back dots. So these are all the same size. As far as lift on these, they're not too bad, but they're all the same size and they're kind of like your brushed gold color. So very nice embellishments. Oh, you thought the Softly Woven was a 2D version of the Forever Plaid. No, it's different, Froggy. It's a beautiful embossing folder. Even after, this catalog is done and over with, I hope they really do keep that around a lot longer because we need more embossing folders that have a little more of a subtle design to it because a lot of the things we have are like, yeah, they're not as, small and detailed and subtle. So I'm glad that they have that. Then the last part to this suite is the Neutrals Jute Combo Pack. So if you remember the jute that we had on those 5 in colors that recently retired, the one that had like boho blue in it, and I'm drawing a blank on the other colors, but it's the same thing, the same jute, but this is in basic beige, crumb cake, early espresso, mossy meadow, pecan pie, and then they got choking hazard. Okay, I don't think that's a color, but there they are. So again, these look like these are either 2 or 3 strands, and you can separate them. And if you remember the other jute, whenever you mess with this, you always ended up with little fibers of this thread like all over the place. But I love this. So, I mean, even perfect for your fall cards too. So that is the Neutral Noel suite. So that's the last suite that I have. What I have left is let's see, let's see, let me do this. So these are items that are from, um, uh, wait a minute, you know what? Let me not do that one yet. Because these are in that still in that same catalog, the September through December. So specialty paper. So this is Metal Effects specialty paper. You got it in copper, gold, and silver. What's nice about this is kind of like, well, it's not vellum, but it is double-sided and it's the same on either side. You do get 2 of each color. So there is the gold. So it's more of a darker gold color. And again, it's double-sided. There's the copper. I'm really loving the copper. So we're definitely going to be pulling out that copper embossing powder on our fall projects. And if we're going to heat foil, we got the copper foil to cover us. But there's the silver. So again, these are more of like a brushed silver, copper, and gold. And again, double-sided, and you get 2 sheets of each of these. So again, this is standalone. It's not part of any of the suites. And then, speaking of fall, this is absolutely gorgeous. This is the Autumn Woodland Glimmer Specialty Paper. So our glimmer paper, we slowly get it back, you know, when the holidays roll around. In here, there's Cajun Craze, Early Espresso, and Old Olive. And you get 2 sheets of each. So look at that pretty Cajun Craze glimmer paper. I think we're also going to need to use some of this next Friday when we do our sunflowers. There's a lot of extra stuff that I can put in with the sunflowers, and I hit my phone again. I did raise it up a little bit higher to try to avoid that, but evidently I'm still doing it. There's the early espresso. Now, what would look good with this? It's now gone. You remember the earthen tones foil paper that we have? That went with that Autumn Toile suite. That went on the clearance rack and it was discounted, so it's now gone. But I still have some of that. I think I need to pull that out and use some of that as well. And then there's Old Olive, so that's pretty bright. You can look at this and see Old Olive. You can also see Granny Apple Green in that as well. So glimmer paper, we love our glimmer paper. They should just come out with glimmer paper in all of the colors. That's just my opinion. I think we need gingham ribbon in all of the colors too. I remember way back when they used to have, like, you know, your gingham ribbons and stuff, and then they had multiple colors of it. Loved it. Okay, now what we have left. So I only have these 2 items. These are from the September online exclusives. Now, the online exclusives, there's not a whole lot in it in this offering. There is one suite in here that has 2 different packs of paper. There is a stamp and die bundle. From what I see, I think, don't quote me because I don't have it, the dies could be those impression type dies that you use the impressions mat with. And it has embellishments. It's got ribbon. Pretty nice. It's got a lot of blue in it. Secret Sea. There is 1, 2, 3. There's 3 bundles. Again, one of them is that Merry Mischief bundle, which is the one with the gnomes. And it looks like the one's holding a pizza, but it's actually a chocolate chip cookie. And then there is standalone paper, and there's also a couple of standalone stamp sets. So all I have at the moment is the paper and the stamp set. So, stamp set, thanks and giving. So we have a stamp set that has a Thanksgiving greeting in it. This, I love the font. I love the greetings in here. Give thanks, thank you. There is always something to be thankful for. You are appreciated. Happy Thanksgiving for everything you do and grateful. And then you can see you got some stalks of your wheat and your pumpkin. Love the wreath, and I really love this whimsical looking acorn. Again, the design of this looks very similar to that acorn that is in that pumpkin patch paper. But yeah, I definitely am going to use this set. What I'm looking to do And again, you can see it, they're not small images. They're pretty, they're a nice sized image. What I want to do, because I love this so much, so World Card Making Day, I want to plan an in-person for those that are local to me. You know, create like 3 projects. But what I want to do is those very same projects that we do in person, I am going to go live that evening and I'm going to recreate those projects for all of you. Um, Most likely it will be 3 different either stamp set bundles. I know Thanksgiving is one of them that I'm going to use. So stay tuned because we're going to have fun with this, and I am really, really looking forward to making some Thanksgiving Day cards. Again, there's just something about this that I love the font, I love the images, and I'm just going to really have fun with this. And then there is designer series paper. Again, it's not part of any suite, it's standalone. This is called Autumn Opulence Specialty Designer Series paper. There's Blackberry Bliss, Cajun Craze, Early Espresso, Golden Glow, Lost Lagoon, Peaceful Pine, Pecan Pie, Petal Pink, and Very Vanilla. Again, this would even go perfect with that stamp set. And I see myself having more than 1 pack of this designer series paper. And what makes it specialty, there are a couple of sheets, okay, 2 sheets each, that have punch outs in it. So here is this pattern. Just love it. It's got my purple in there. And then you got your pecan pie, kind of like your checkered background. Love this, love this plaid. These colors just look so great together. Very pretty. Oh, guys, have I mentioned that I love fall? That fall's my favorite season? I just love this. Gonna definitely need another pack of this. Because, you know, I gotta make up for the, the product of the month that I cannot get more than 1 package of, so. But this, I mean, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? You got your fall leaves and you got your mushrooms in there and your acorns. Just love it. Love it, love it, love it. And anything with the aqua and the brown together, I love that combination. And again, there's more Cajun Craze. I think every fall paper that I have shown you has had Cajun Craze. Now this, I was telling Yvonne when I was showing her this, that you can kind of recreate this. If you take any of the stamps that have, your larger leaf image, so you have your background kind of like like say maybe a petal pink color, and you can stamp off and lightly stamp your leaves on there, and then all these little dots, you can use that big 12 by 12 dotted decorative mask that we have, and you can kind of do something similar like this to create your own designer series paper. So, that just, when I saw that, it inspired me. Okay, and then here are the punch outs. Now, are these both the same? Let me see. No, these are actually different. So you have this sheet right here. So you have your pumpkins and your gourds, your leaves. And again, this just looks like these images are painted. You got your mushrooms. Love that cluster. And then you got some tags here. And then your other sheet has more tags to it. Got some large acorns, a wreath, and then even like a little pocket. So very, very cold. Love those punch outs. Let me actually take this paper, put it underneath so that way those don't fall out. So again, this paper is a standalone in the online exclusives. What was it called again? Autumn Opulence Specialty. And again, it's those 2 sheets that have the punch outs that make it a specialty paper. Okay, so now we got there's one more item to show, and this is paper that I will be hoarding. This is our August product of the month, Glow of Harvest Specialty Designer Series paper. Oh my gosh. I know a lot of demonstrators have shown this paper, but oh my word. There are 6 different designs, and they're all single-sided, and oh my gosh, it's pearlized. I don't know how well that comes up, but it's pearlized. And your colors, like your golden glow and your pecan pie and Cajun craze, when it's, this is like, or crumb cake, when it's printed on this, it kind of gives it a softer look. So you have, I got this probably the wrong direction. So you have 2 sheets of this pattern. And then I love this one. This one's got your oak leaves and your acorns. And again, it's all like a vanilla pearlized paper that this is on. Just again, I hate that we can't get more than one package of this, because I can tell you that I would be purchasing quite a bit of this if that was the case. But it's so, so beautiful. Then you got your leaves. This would make beautiful, like a subtle background on your cards. And then there are pumpkins. Gotta have the pumpkins. I love like the cream colored pumpkins. I think that's so pretty. And then here's our final pattern. Just absolutely love it. So if you have not had the opportunity to get the August product of the month yet, it's beautiful. This paper, like I said, I it's going to be hard to cut into it, knowing that I can't get any more of it. Again, if you're not familiar, product of the month, they did away, Stampin' Up! Did away with their celebration that they did once, and at one time twice a year, where you can earn free product when you spent a certain amount. Product of the month, the way it works, when you, now I'm giving you amounts that's here in the US. If you spend $75, you can add the product of the month to your cart for $5. Now, there's only a limit of 1 product per person, and each month it changes up. It could be a pack of designer series paper. There was a die. There were some stamp sets. So it changes every month. We're almost done with August, so September there's going to be a new product. Now, if the product is still available, you know, we've gone into a new month and the product is still available from the previous months. If you hadn't gotten it yet, you can still get it. Again, product of the month, it's a minimum order of $75, and then you have to add it to your cart, and it's $5. You can't, if you place an order that's 150, you can't add 2 different product of the months to it. It's just 1 product of the month per order. So that's what I have as far as my pre-order goes. Again, I did not order everything that's in these catalogs. There's a lot of stuff that's coming out come September 1st. So again, there's online exclusive products. Um, as far as online exclusives, that's new. There's not a whole lot. Again, there's only one suite that's in here. And then I think like what three stamp and die bundles, and then a couple of standalone stamp sets and that paper that I showed you. Then also on September 1st, there's going to be more items for the hot foil line. There's new foil colors that are coming out. You have some foil dies that are for Christmas. And then there's also one that's from fall that I had showed you near the beginning. There's even a buffalo check one here, and I did order that. So again, there are a couple of things that I did purchase during when they had the 2 times the Stampin' Rewards. And so when I get that, I'll show that at the beginning of one of my lives. It could be this Friday, it could be the following. It all depends on when it shows up. And then also, there's most of the items I showed you were from the September through December 26 catalog. Again, if you're here in the US, if you're not working with another demonstrator and you would like a paper copy of this catalog, I will, after I'm done here, I will have my email address in the description of the video. Just simply send me an email with your name and mailing address, and I'll be more than happy to get one sent out to you. And again, all of this becomes available to customers on September 1st. And again, if you are local to me, stay tuned. I do have a monthly newsletter that I do put out near the beginning of the month, and I'm going to be listing the first like in-person get-together. We're coming up to the Burr months. This is my favorite time on doing crafting. So I am going to put together something that's for in-person. So if you are local to me, I will have a link to my newsletter as well if you would like to sign up for it. Again, I don't do an everyday email thing. That's insane, and I frankly don't have the time to do something like that. But if you would like to receive my monthly newsletter, it lets you know what product I'm going to be using for my Friday night lives, anything I may be doing here in the studio, any promotions, things that Stampin' Up! Is offering, the upcoming paper pumpkin kit, the new kits that are coming out. I have all of that info in my newsletter. So if you'd like to receive that, again, I will have that link in the description when I am done. So, with that, guys, I thank you so much for taking time out on your Sunday evening or your Monday morning, if you're in Australia, for joining me to see the stuff that I had gotten that is um, coming on September 1st. And so, next Friday, my plan is to use Sunflower Fields suite of product that I showed earlier on. Looking forward to coming up with the projects for that. Also, if you are on our mailing list, as far as sending cards to each other, remember next Friday on the 28th is Sharon's birthday. And then not long after that, on September 6th, we have Tracy's and Carol Weston's birthday coming up. So if you're someone that wants to do your cards, and get them out to them, those are the birthdays that are coming up. And I don't think we have anything in October, but we do have two in November on the same day as well. So, um, I think that's all I have, guys. I thank you so much for joining me again. And again, there are a few more items that I did get that I haven't gotten yet, so I will show you that when I do a live. So Like Froggy had mentioned earlier in the video, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. It does help me, again, not only growing this channel by getting my videos out there to other fellow paper crafters, it also helps build my Stampin' Up! Business as well. So again, thank you so much, everybody. Please stay safe, stay cool, or stay warm, no matter wherever it is that where you live. And everyone have a blessed one. And I will see you next Friday at 6 p.m. Everyone have a blessed one. Bye bye.